Littles, this is Miss Evonna coming to you from the Shiloh Bible History class. Please don't worry because you haven't missed any lessons. In fact, today we're going to have a review. I know you don't like reviews, but it'll help you stay current, okay? We're in the book of Exodus, okay? I'm going to ask the questions, but I'll answer them, okay? Who wrote the first 5 books of the Bible? Moses, okay? Who was Moses' brother? Aaron. Who was Moses' sister? Miriam. Who was Moses' adopted mother? Pharaoh's daughter. Where was Moses raised? In the castle by Pharaoh's daughter. His mother took care of him, which was a positive. How old was Moses when he led the Israelites from Egypt? 80. How old was Moses' brother Aaron when they left Egypt? 83. Who was Moses' wise father-in-law? Jethro. What was the name of the land that the Israelites lived in Egypt? The land of Goshen. How many plagues did God send on the Egyptians? 10. What was the last plague that God sent to Egypt? The Israelites, the Hebrews, were to put the blood of a lamb or a goat on their doorpost, and the death angel would pass over. If the blood wasn't there, the firstborn male in every household died. That is called the Passover. Remember the Passover. There will be test questions. The Israelites went from the land of Goshen after being slaves in Egypt for 430 years. How did they get to the land of Goshen? There was a famine in their land, and they came to be with Joseph. But we won't review that far back, okay? God promised the Israelites, the Hebrews, his people, a promised land, and this land is going to be called Canaan. This is the Canaan land, okay? And it's got green grass, which we've studied all this, so you should know. While the Israelites were in the desert, God performed many miracles to show them that they were his people. One of the miracles are, how did he lead them by day? The answer is by a cloud. How did he lead them by night? By a fire cloud, okay? Next question. What did God feed the Israelites in the desert? And you remember this because we ate it. Manna. After a while, they and complained, and God sent them what? Answer, quails, okay? What was the name of the sea that God parted so the Israelites could walk through on dry land? The Red Sea, okay? What did not wear out while the Israelites were in the desert? 2 things, their shoes and their clothes, okay? What were a few of the things that the Israelites, the Hebrews, God's people, complained about while they were in the desert? Number 1, they complained about water. God gave it to them. Next, they complained about food. God gave it to them. Next, they complained about they were tired of eating manna. So God gave them quail, okay? What should have taken them 11 days' journey took them 40 years. The question is, why? The answer is they disobeyed God. So we're going to review just a little bit. We know that baby Moses was in a basket in the what river? Nile River. Why would his parents put him in a basket when he was a little bitty baby? Because old mean Pharaoh threw all the baby boys in the river. So Moses' parents spared him by putting him in the basket, okay? He grows up in the castle, but he knew that his people were the Israelites, and he saw a mean old taskmaster beating a Hebrew to death. He hid him in the sand. Well, he thought nobody saw him. But the next day, somebody said that they saw what he had done, and was he going to do it to them? So he fled to a faraway land. So he went from living in the castle to being a sheep herder. And he lived there, and one day when he was tending his sheep, he came upon a burning what? The answer, bush. But it didn't burn up. And and you know the answer to this, what did God say? Take your shoes off, you're standing on holy ground. Well, so Moses took his shoes off, and God told him that he wanted him to lead the Hebrew Israelites out of Egypt. And he said, I can't do that. Pharaoh will kill me if I go back. He knows I killed somebody. And God said, that Pharaoh's dead. They don't remember anything about it. And he goes, well, because he really didn't want to go. He goes, I can't do that. I can't address a king. I don't speak well. So what did God say? And you know the answer to this. He said, take your brother Aaron and he will talk for you. So he left. He went to Egypt. Then when he got there and he met with Pharaoh, we've gone through all the 10 plagues. So now we move on to the desert. Okay? The Israelites, the sea was parted, the Red Sea was parted, so they were now in the desert. Okay? Went up on what mountain to get the what? He went up on Mount Sinai to get the rules. These people had lived as slaves and been told what to do, when to do, how to do, so they needed rules to obey, as we all do. And while Moses was up on Mount Sinai, the people thought, we don't know if he's coming back. So they teamed up against poor Aaron. Aaron was in charge. And what did they make Aaron do? The one thing God told them over and over and over and over and over again, only love me, only worship me. What did they make while Moses was on Mount Sinai? They melted down their earrings and they made down a gold calf. Whoop, whoop, I found a gold calf, everybody. Y'all wanted a gold calf. This is what they worshiped instead of God. Duh. But anyway, so Moses came down from Mount Sinai, and when he saw that they were worshiping that gold calf, he got so mad, he threw the rules, the 10 Commandments down, and he broke them. He was so mad. And he said, Aaron, why did you do this? And Aaron said, he made just some lame excuse that it just jumped out. But anyway, Moses knew that they all teamed against him. So Moses had to go back up on the mountain, get more rules, and come back down. So in our review, God was going to kill them, but Moses begged him not to, because he said the enemy would think badly of you. So what is the ugly name that God called the Hebrews, the Israelites? Stiff-necked people. Okay? We remember that, stiff-necked people, because they and they got easily disgruntled. Okay? So now we move on, and God punished them after the golden calf. We move on to the promised land that God promised them. It's called the land of Canaan. And it's got beautiful green pastures. It's got everything they ever dreamed of. God gives us things, but we have to do our part. Now, before they were allowed to go into the Canaan land, they had to take it. They had to take over the Canaan land. So they sent 12 spies. That should have been a question. 12 spies, one from each of the tribes, into the Canaan land to snoop it out, to see where the soldiers were, to see where the weak points in the wall was, so they could take the city. They were going to have to fight their way in there. Well, the 12 spies went in, and it was fruit so big, and the land was just wonderful. It was perfect for everything they ever dreamed of in their whole life. But there were other inhabitants in there. There were other there were Canaanites, there were Evionites, there was Anakins. And we learned last week, or whenever, what an Anakin is. It's a giant, a real giant, like Goliath. He was an Anakin. And the Anakin giants looked at our men, the Hebrews, like little grasshoppers. So the 12, after 40 days, they came back and they strategized to the people, and they said, forget it, we don't have a chance. But 2 people believed in the power of God. And who were they? I know you remember, Joshua and Caleb. And they all wanted to team against Joshua and Caleb and kill them, because they were saying that we should go in and fight, because with God's power we can do it. Well, we're going to learn next time what happened.